What seems to be preoccupying a lot of people is the healthcare situation in France, if and when you actually get here, and how you'll be covered. It's quite a complex subject, but I'm going to try and simplify things for you a little bit. As you all know, since Brexit, UK nationals are considered like any other nationality which aren't members of the EEA or the European Economic Area, and as such you are no longer covered for health under the normal European treaties. Well, YouTube aren't going to like this, but a lot of you are going to actually turn this video off after the next two facts. Might be a good time to click that like, subscribe and bell button for me. First fact is, if you're just coming over on holidays and business trips on short spurts as such, then it's your home country's insurance which covers you. It might be worth getting an actual European or global health card though, just makes things that little bit easier in case of accidents, for example. Second fact is, if you have already reached retirement age and actually have a state pension and or you actually have a long-term illness recognised in your home country and being treated for that, then once again you are covered by your state, your home country's insurance via, I believe it is the S1 form, but that is a permanent cover. If on the other hand you don't fall into those two categories, then well, you might want to sit down, get a cup of tea and make yourself comfortable, because it's a bit more complicated for yourselves. So the rest of you that are, let's say, non-retirement age, not suffering from illnesses and coming over on a permanent basis or full-time, let's say, there are different situations depending on what you want to do and how you want to move forward. Some are quite straightforward and some, well, unfortunately being France, aren't quite as straightforward. If you want to move to France on a permanent basis or semi-permanent basis, you will be needing a visa. Part of the actual visa setup is having health insurance. At that actual beginning stage, there's not too many choices. In fact, well, there's very few actually. You need to go for a private health insurance for about 3 to 4 months or longer, depending on what you want to do afterwards. So you need to check those out, get some prices and move forward on that. After 3 months residency in France, you can actually apply to join the French system, which will probably work out cheaper. One thing you do need to remember though is actually the French national health system only covers you for about 70% of costs. So what the French do, or most people living over here, is actually get what we call a mutuelle or top-up insurance. These vary greatly from one policy to another, so it's well worth studying them before signing up. Basically, where some will be better for teeth, some will be better for glasses, some will be better for other things. So think about your own personal needs and compare the offers. If one of the reasons you're actually moving here is due to the fact you have been offered a job over here in France by a French company, then well, that's dead easy. The actual French company are obliged to cover your social health payments, and thus you are automatically into the French health system. They are also obliged to supply you with a mutuelle, which is a top-up insurance, so even better. If, on the other hand, you are moving over to France to become self-employed, that might be as a craftsman, it might be as an artist, running gîtes or whatever. We have to actually set up your company in France and you'll pay social charges, and that will get you into the actual French system once again. The good thing to remember is that if you're moving over as a family, a couple with a couple of kids for example, then the fact that one of you is working in the French system covers the whole family, or at least the direct family that is, as in your partner and your children. If you're already self-employed before you get here and have been for a little while, there is a particular setup where you can actually carry on with your present health system to actually cover you as if you're actually working abroad on a foreign contract, so to speak. It's quite specific, I won't go into the details now, but just know that if you have your own company, there are certain cases where you can do that. But as I said, only for 2 years, because then you have to be into the French system. So there you have it, my quick roundup of the health system here in France. Well, if you got this far into the video, besides clicking on the actual like, subscribe and bell buttons, you might want to watch this video here, which tells you more about the buying process.